Yeah. So I'm here with Andrea, and Andrea's going to run a session for us called Uncage Your Voice. Andrea, what's this session about?
Okay, so this is going to be a session where we're going to explore your voice, your sounds, the things that you may have not used for a long time or have forgotten, and really tap into how your sound, your voice has been caged, restricted, and controlled in ways that don't allow you to use the whole of your sound or voice. So it's quite a journey. It's an exploration of what you sound on the inside and also what you sound on the outside.
Yeah, you were talking before about like sounding out and sounding in.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Okay, so sounding in is so many times we use our sound, which is always free. That's
Yeah,
interesting. So we've got this beautiful instrument, this sound that we make, that often people might think they don't like the sound of their voice, or I talk too loud or I talk too quietly. My voice doesn't make atmosphere, or I just don't think about my voice. I arrive with it. But we're usually thinking about our voice and how it's received, how we use it to be communicating. But our voice is incredibly expressive to ourselves. It speaks directly to our nervous system, to our body. It actually speaks to every single organ. It speaks at a cellular level, and we can learn to speak inwards to ourselves, to tap into emotions, thoughts, feelings that perhaps have been hidden, obscured, not allowed, untouched. And also we can explore those things that are joyful, playful, curious, enriching. So our voices, if we use them inwards, allow us to deepen that felt sense, and we learn to make sounds that move around our body, that begin to unlock these hidden things, but also learn to express to ourselves what we're thinking and feeling. So we'll really play with lots of things beyond words. We'll be making sounds of all sorts of types of things and see if they go into our head, out of our head, down to our toes, down to our fingers.
yeah.
Can we speak to our kidneys, and all of those sorts of things? So we're going to really journey through lots of our bodies, but it's also about tapping into our inner truth. So as we learn to sound and make sound for ourselves, sound inwards, we really tap into who we are, what hasn't been allowed, what our potentialities are. And lots of people use this also in trauma work. So Peter Levine, Stephen Porges, this is one of the ways sound is an incredibly efficient and profound way of dealing with trauma, but also just dealing with the unspoken, because it completely bypasses the frontal cortex of our brains, and what needs to be said will be said in sound. So lots of the workshop that I'll be doing, we won't use words, we'll just be making different sounds and exploring where they go. So it's beyond words, to tap into what has been caged, what's not been allowed, and allowing that to come out and see where it goes.
Right, so kind of discovering bits of our voice that we maybe haven't used before, or haven't felt before.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Reminds me of when we've done gibberish conversations and things in improv.
Absolutely. So yeah, in gibberish, we playfully explore our tone of voice and the rhythm and structure and pitch and phrasing.
Yeah.
And this is similar and goes further in saying, okay, well, sounds always have meaning, whether we intend them to or not. So what sounds are we making? How can we move our sounds around? With intentionality or just with curiosity. So there's one, moving it purposefully, but there's also intuitive sounding. What sounds want to come out
Yeah.
that just want to come out. And
I love that. I love that. I love that when something happens that we don't expect.
Absolutely, yeah. And so
Where did that come from?
where did that come from? Oh no, I can't say this now. No, I'm going to make this sound.
Yes, yeah. Oh, brilliant. I often hear people say things like, "Oh, I've lost my voice," but not meaning that they can't speak physically, but somehow the people not feeling connected to it, or not feeling listened to, or not feeling like they're expressing like who they are. So it sounds so great to like approach that in a kind of a playful way.
Yeah, and I think it's also about the more we practice or find our voice that often has been told off, or is expected to be used in a certain type of way, to find the full range of our voice again. Gives you confidence to express yourself, so you can actually speak your truth. You feel unbounded and not judging all the time, so you trust your voice and listen to what it has to say. And so it's your voice, or we might say your sound, tells you things as well as telling other people things. So you might pitch up thinking that you're all cool, calm, collected, organized, and etc., but you've had a terrible night's sleep, an argument with your partner, you've had a bump in the car park, and you've lost your purse. And you might think you're doing a really good job, but your voice will tell a different story. So in some ways, it's about how do we want to show up, but in another way, we can sound in order to speak to ourselves, to recognize those situations and free our voice back into sounding at every single level, so a full melodic voice. So as we're speaking here, I'm speaking at a certain tone and pitch, but there's lots of other sounds that the human ear is picking up that we're not usually listening to, but is going in. And when we're stressed, tired, ill, frustrated, angry, those overtones or other sounds just aren't heard. So lots of the workshop also will be, how do we use the whole of our voice so it's free, it's authentic, it's your unique signature, and that's really special because it speaks to other people. And when you can dip back in, if you can ground yourself back into your authentic voice, then you've always got that potential to shift you, but also to shift the atmosphere, to create a safe space for other people. So you can create a safe space for you, which allows you to think, be creative, be imaginative, get perspective, problem solve, connect with people, have fun. But also you can create that space for other people just with the sound of your voice.
Sounds amazing. Thank you, Andrea. So that's going to be on Friday, the 2nd of August.
Friday, the 2nd of August it is.
Oh, no,
September.
British time. Yeah, so come along. Sounds fun.
Yeah, Friday the 2nd, Friday the 4th of September, did we say?
Oh, I said Friday the 2nd of August, which is incorrect. It's Friday the 2nd of September. Thank you.
There we go.
2nd of September. Sounds cool. Yeah, looking forward to it. What a beautiful thing. So many of us have hang-ups about one of the things people are afraid of, right? Is improv is one thing people are afraid of, like being playful. Other thing people are so afraid of is singing, isn't it? Yeah. And I know this isn't singing, but just we have so much fear around voices sometimes, and to be able to like, inhabit that more fully and joyfully sounds like a wonderful thing.
So lots of people say, and there's been some research to say that people are more scared of public singing than they are of dying.
Yeah, right, mad, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. So the other thing I'd say is bring along some water, because we will be making sounds.
Yes.
And we need to keep our voices, voice box hydrated as we're doing lots of work. And you might want to bring a microphone so that you can listen to how your voice changes as we go through the workshop.
Cool. And just to emphasize for everyone, yeah, it's not a singing class, right? We're not
Definitely.
singing. We mentioned singing, but the class is sounding, not singing.
Yeah. And everybody makes sounds.
Yes. Cool. Great. Thank you, Andrea. Looking forward to it. Come along if it sounds interesting to you.
Yeah. Great, Andrew. I'm really looking forward to it too.
Yeah.